Alright, we got this. Hello everyone and welcome to race number 22 of 29 here in the 1989 throwbacks, and we are in the midst of a crazy championship battle. 11 drivers are within 400 points of the championship leader, and Bill Elliott has once again closed in the points lead to Tim Richmond down to just 17. This has been a crazy season thus far, and it doesn't look like it's going to let up anytime soon. Richmond has gained a reputation for being a pretty crazy, action-filled, and sometimes even caution-filled race, especially since the reconfiguration back last year. Ricky Rudd was able to get his first win in a very long time last time out. We'll see if he's able to get another win here, or if Elliott or Richmond or somebody else can get a big win. Can't count out Dale Earnhardt or Darrell Waltrip. They both have very strong championship contending cars as well. Simulate on through, and your pole sitter is going to be the number 5 of Jeffrey Bodine. That's got to be only his first or second pole of the year. I don't really recall Jeff Bodine having a pole on his record, but who knows? Maybe not. Anyways, wow. Okay, Jeff Bodine is on the pole. Ricky Rudd is in second. Alan Kulwicki will roll off third. Phil Parsons will roll off fourth. Rusty Wallace rolling off fifth. Dale Earnhardt sixth. Bill Elliott seventh. In eighth, we'll have Terry Labonte. In ninth, Tim Richmond in the 25. He's your points leader. And in 10th will be Darrell Waltrip. Here's the command. The cars are going to roll off here at this 3/4 of a mile tri-oval. Looks like everybody got rolling off good. They're going to come off of turn 4 here, and they're going to come to the green flag here at Richmond. You're going to see everyone fly by and duck off into corner number 1. Jeff Bodine looks like he's going to lead everyone in there. Alan Kulwicki's going to move into second. Look out. Whoa, 3 wide here coming off of turn number 2 already. Look at this daring move by Rusty Wallace down to the inside of everybody. And boy, Ricky Rudd is in a really bad spot right now. Lap number 1 is going to go to Alan Kulwicki. He was able to get around Jeff Bodine. Kulwicki dives down to the inside here. He's actually going to get around Bodine. And Alan Kulwicki is going to be your leader here early on at Richmond. In third place, we have Rusty Wallace in his, what has to be considered dumpster fire of a season to this point, going all the way back to Rockingham, where he was involved in a wild incident, flipping several times down the back straightaway. This season's just been relentlessly awful since then. Dale Earnhardt sits in the 4th position, what has to be considered a success. 5th right now is going to be Tim Richmond. 6th will be Brett Bodine. In 7th we have Kyle Petty, and a battle for 8th is now going on as Bill Elliott is still trying to find the groove to get to the bottom. He's now going to get challenged here by Davey Allison, and the outside lane just does not work at this track. There's really no second groove to work with. It's all about sticking down to the inside. So that makes both of the drivers that were really fast last time out, Ricky Rudd and Phil Parsons, stuck back outside of the top 10 or in the outer fringes of the top 10 at the very least early on. We'll see if they're able to make it through the field. Meanwhile, it's still clean sailing. Alan Kulwicki is out front, and I don't want to call him dominant, but he's got the fastest car out of anybody right now. Oh, never mind. Ricky Rudd just took that distinction. Thank you very much. Yeah, Ricky Rudd just took that distinction and is now going to try to run with it. 115.449 miles an hour for Ricky Rudd. Sorry about that over scroll there. Fastest laps are still coming in. Who takes it this time? Alan Kulwicki. Yeah, this might... I really don't want to jinx this, but I think this is the first time that we've ever seen Alan Kulwicki actually have the fastest car in a race. There's been some times where he's had some good cars running inside the top 10 and whatnot. And there will be some times where he has some bad cars and where he doesn't run as well. But right now, he seems to be running perfectly fine with one of the fastest cars in the field right now. And this has got to be very uplifting for Alan Kulwicki. Of course, an owner-driver can't have too many expectations going into a season as an owner-driver. And then 1987 happened for Alan Kulwicki, where he just was gifted 2 wins. And maybe I shouldn't say gifted, but Martinsville, he had a very strong car. He was running down. He was not running down Tim Richmond. Nobody was running down Tim Richmond. And then Richmond ended up having a freak mechanical failure, and Alan Kulwicki capitalized to win the first race of his career. And then 2 races later, the Coca-Cola 600 pitch strategy once again prevailed in that race, and Alan Kulwicki ended up winning the 1987 Coca-Cola 600. And then 1988 rolls along. Everybody's expecting everything to continue to be the same. Alan Kulwicki expecting to be 10th to 15th in points. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just wins Talladega. And in none of those 3 races did he have the fastest car. Now, this race, he appears to have the fastest car on the track right now. So it'll be interesting to see what Kulwicki's able to do. Well, he's going to have to hold off some very hard-charging short-track racers. Rusty Wallace and Dale Earnhardt. Once they're able to get around Jeff Bodine here, and they can start hunting down that 7 car, it will be very interesting to see what happens. Of course, not to mention Phil Parsons, Ricky Rudd. These 2 guys, we know that they have a very fast program here at Richmond. You can't discount these 2 guys out either. Yeah, there's no way to discount these 2 drivers in the slightest, especially Phil Parsons, who I thought was going to completely dominate the spring race at Richmond, and stuff just happened where he just fell to the back of the pack. We'll see if that trend just happens today, where he just underachieves, or something happens. We'll have to see. Meanwhile, the battle for 10th. Kyle Petty trying to hold off a very hard-charging Davey Allison. Couple of drivers here, 2 of them. They're at the top of their game. Remember, they're fighting in the mid-teens for points, along with Alan Kulwicki. So they're fighting for every single point that they can get. Here's Bobby Hillin Jr. in 12th, and Jimmy Spencer in 13th. They're trying to stay in the top 25 in points, so that's got to be considered a success for both of those teams. Sterling Marlin, who's had, at best, a roller coaster season this year. Really haven't seen much of him, but here he is in 14th. Speaking of roller coasters, Ken Schrader, 17th. I don't think I need to say anything else. Just Ken Schrader, 17th. Where all of his other teammates, well, I shouldn't say all of his other teammates. Darrell Waltrip stuck all the way back in 21st right now. So 200 cars are doing really well, and 200 cars are doing really terribly. Sometimes it all has to do with qualifying there. You can see the 55 and the 26 both got around Brett Bodine there. And now here comes Ricky Rudd. They're making moves on Tim Richmond. And it looks like lap traffic's starting to happen now. Your leader up here is still Alan Kulwicki in the 7 car. Not really used to seeing this car in the lead, but you can't discredit this lead right now. He's doing fantastically up here. And Jeff Bodine in second. Look at this! Oh, hard off the inside wall. Ooh, that was a rough hit. Is he going to come down to pit road? No, he's going to keep driving it. That was a tough hit by Rusty Wallace there. It looked like he pinged off of it pretty good. You'd think he pancaked the left side of that car, but that just didn't happen. It looks like he's still rolling off. I don't see a tire rub. Everything's still good. Meanwhile, oh, I thought what was going to be the onset of 3 wide. No, that definitely is 3 wide. Wow, Tim Richmond not wanting to lose any positions here. He wants to gain as many as he can. It's all about the points championship right now. If he can stay ahead of Brett Bodine and Ricky Rudd here, that's 8 more points towards his points lead over Bill Elliott. So remember, only 17 points separate them coming into this race. So every single position right now for Tim Richmond is huge. Huge. Meanwhile, Ricky Rudd, he's just out there to win. He could be in the championship hunt, but you know, once you're 400 points out, it really takes a miracle to run in the points lead all the way back. It really does take a miracle to do that. Things happen, however. How about this? Bobby Hillin Jr. in 10th. Boy, we haven't seen much of this 26-year-old driver. No career wins, but he does have 3 second-place finishes in the throwbacks, believe it or not. 3 second-place finishes, including most notably the 1986 Coca-Cola 600, where he almost won that race on strategy, but that ended up being won by Ricky Rudd. And now, yeah, Tim Richmond, he's stuck behind Brett Bodine now. Brett Bodine, he seems to be pretty good on these short tracks. He's one of those drivers that's going to be in, well, pretty much driver's hell after this season. We don't really know where Brett Bodine's going to end up. Is he going to stay with Bud Moore? Is he going to go elsewhere? Really don't know where Brett Bodine's going to end up, but he's one of those drivers that we kind of just don't know what's going to happen to him. Meanwhile, Jeff Purvis and Rodney Coombs giving some headaches right now to Phil Parsons, Rusty Wallace, and Ricky Rudd. And Phil Parsons is like, come on, Rodney, give me some leeway here. I'm trying to get around you. I've got leaders to pass. Oh, wow, look at Phil Parsons trying to get on the flat to get around him. And Richmond doesn't have the most banking out of any NASCAR track, that's for certain. But the 10 degrees of banking here, or roughly 10 degrees of banking at this track, it's still enough to make a noticeable difference. If you hit that apron, it'll mess your car up. So it makes a noticeable difference. Meanwhile, up front, we got a battle for second. Jeff Bodine in the 5, Dale Earnhardt in the 3. Earnhardt trying to bring away what should be a good points day if he can end up getting into the second position. He comes into this race roughly 170 points down on Tim Richmond. That's good enough for third in the points battle. And for the driver that's trying to defend his championship from last year, no, he hasn't done exactly the most convincing job to repeat his championship. Only 1 win so far this year, and that's just got to be considered a disappointment. If he gets 1 more win, he will tie Tim Flock for most career victories in NASCAR with 39. So that would be interesting to see. Jeff Bodine, meanwhile, he's looking for his 10th career win. And remarkably, by some fluke, I still have no idea why, but Alan Kulwicki is looking for his 4th career win in this race. It just seems like once a year he pops up at the front in some freak occurrence. And, well, this is a race where he's just decided, oh, I'm gonna pop up front now. That'd be crazy if Alan Kulwicki all of a sudden just wins one race every single year of his career from here on out. One race every single year, exactly. I mean, hey, that's how you gain prestige, man. And Kulwicki's a good driver, you can tell. Just wait until he gets his equipment built up, because he's done a very admirable job as an owner driver here in NASCAR. I mean, to get 3 wins as an owner driver, that's impressive. Meanwhile, the battle for second's starting to really heat up now. Rob Moroso desperately trying to hold off Jeff Bodine here. Rob Moroso not having the best of days, and by the way, neither is Harry Gant, being stuck here in the 30th position. That's just terrible. Terrible. Jeff Bodine trying to go by the 33 here. Looks like everything's a-okay there. I want to scroll further back here because Tim Richmond has yet to get around the 15 of Brett Bodine here, and right now he's only going to gain 4 points on Bill Elliott. If everything holds, the points lead will grow to 21. And I really just don't think that this is going to be properly taking advantage of Elliott not having a fast car today. But of course, you're not going to have a fast car week in and week out. And right now, Richmond just doesn't have the car today. Sometimes that happens. I'll admit it, sometimes that just happens. It's usually not fun when both of the championship contenders just don't have the car. But that happens. Also, it should be noted that Darrell Waltrip, he's really trying to avoid the proverbial skid, as he got that win in very convincing fashion at Bristol. Won it from winning Bristol from the pole, which, if I remember correctly, actually hasn't happened in Throwbacks history before. I don't think we've ever had a Bristol winner from the pole, just because of the history of how chaotic Bristol can be. I know we've had really weird winners at Bristol before, like Dave Marcus pulling just a completely random win. He did that before. In fact, Dave Marcus has a completely random win at Richmond as well. Back in 1984, second race of the year, he just had a freak win. It happened. But right now, Darrell Waltrip and his teammate Ken Schrader right behind him. I don't think they're really intending on battling each other for position, but they're pretty much just trying to maybe work together, try to cut down the traffic resistance as much as possible. Because Darrell Waltrip does not need 2 bad finishes in a row and potentially land himself over 200 points out of the championship. Dale Earnhardt, however, he could be getting within 150, maybe 140 points right now. It's an excellent race for him. He would love to get up to second, try to get up to Jeff Bodine there, but I don't think that's going to happen. Bodine's got a very strong car, and it doesn't look like Earnhardt's that fast in traffic. Well, Kulwicki, he's still up there. Allen is indeed still up there. He's still in the lead. Jeff Bodine second, Dale Earnhardt third. Phil Parsons in fourth, Ricky Rudd fifth. Remember them, they had the fastest cars in the spring. Rusty Wallace in sixth, Brett Bodine seventh, Tim Richmond eighth. Bill Elliott in ninth, and Kyle Petty still holding on to 10th. He's trying to hold off Jimmy Spencer and Davey Allison. I'm just trying to work out exactly what the points difference would be right now. It looks like Dale Earnhardt, as it stands, will be gaining 23 points on Tim Richmond. So he'll be within 150 points if he's able to bag this third place finish. If they finish the way it is. Boy, this Richmond race has been a very clean one. We remember going back to the first race at this reconfigured track, we had a lot of accidents. Same thing going back to the spring race. There was a lot of accidents, a lot of crazy commotion going on. But now, well, we haven't seen a caution and we're almost halfway through this race. So everything's been clean so far. The only incident that I've seen the entire race is Dale Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace. They got together and Rusty Wallace hit that inside guardrail pretty hard. You can see the left side of the car is definitely pancaked in where you can see it very clearly there. Luckily, there's no smoke, there's no tire rub, so everything's fine in that regard. But luckily, this is just not a track where aerodynamics mean much. It's all about how strong your car really is. It's the beauty of short track racing. Another unfortunate thing about short track racing is, of course, the field tends to get really spread out. And right now, nobody's really running down Alan Kulwicki. His lead of about 1.1 to 1.3 seconds has remained pretty steady over the last few laps and hasn't really changed much. And, well, I thought he was diving on down the pit road there, but I guess not. Gotta figure they're gonna have to pit at some point during this race. You can see Jeff Purvis really riding Alan Kulwicki hard. But you gotta say, this has been the race of Alan Kulwicki's life thus far. He's had 3 quote-unquote fluke victories in his career. And I would have to agree, those wins seemed extremely anomalous. And of course, any win at Talladega can be considered anomalous. I mean, just take a look at some of the people that have won there. Morgan Shepherd in the 26, Kyle Petty in the number 7 car. Sterling Marlin got a win at Talladega when he was still driving the number 1 car. So, and that was long after Donnie Allison was doing well on that car. So that equipment was not good, to say the least. So Talladega can just be a mismatch of, one-off winners. And the same thing can be said for the Coca-Cola 600. And now here comes Kulwicki. He's going to come down pit road. You've got a new leader in the form of Jeff Bodine, so it's not going to be a shutout today, folks. For those that were anticipating a shutout, unfortunately, that is not going to happen today. It looks like just the one pit stop's going to happen. So we'll see what goes on here. Bodine staying out on the track anyways. Now, Earnhardt is going to want to pit after Bodine. He wants those 5 bonus points. Try to inch and claw his way back into this championship hunt. Something he's got to do. He's not going to do it, though. He's going to pit with Jeff Bodine. Now the question is, who is not pitting? Here comes Tim Richmond. This is huge. Tim Richmond is going to pick up 5 bonus points. That is absolutely huge towards the championship, that Tim Richmond is going to pick up these 5 bonus points here for leading the lap when he comes around. And that's the benefit to staying out. Now, if Earnhardt would have stayed out on that lap, He would have picked up those 5 bonus points, and Richmond would have had to make it another lap if he could. So instead, Tim Richmond is going to get those 5 bonus points, and there they are. Those are official now. And there goes Alan Kulwicki. He's going to come out well out in front of the 5 and the 3, but maybe not as far out in front as he would have liked. And is that the caution coming out? Indeed, the caution flag is waving, and it's going to be interesting to see how this ends up being scored. Oh boy, Tim Richmond might have just been given a gift. Now hold on here. How is this being scored? First off, what caused this accident? Obviously, there's going to be no pits because everybody was just down pit road. Now, why is there a yellow out? I'm trying to figure out why the yellow flag is out, and maybe I'm not seeing it. I'm not 100% sure. He's coming out of pit road. He's also coming out of pit road. I'm not seeing why the caution flag's being waved here. So potentially maybe some debris on the racetrack or some kind of incident on pit road that we're unaware of. You can see Larry Pearson there desperately trying to get out of the way of the pace car there. He was told to go behind the pace car. So now how is this going to be scored? It looks like they're going to score Tim Richmond is your leader. What? They are going to score 32 cars on the lead lap, which is an insane amount. The 2 car ends up going behind the wall. Maybe that's the reason why. Something happened with Ernie Irvin. Yeah, he was going very slow down the front straightaway. I think maybe he missed pit road or something. I'm not 100% sure. No, the caution's already been out. Oh, his front end's all messed up. Here we go. 66 slow. He ends up getting tagged from the rear end. And that's already been going on. Here we go. I think this will show it. Hutch Strickland's trying to merge. I'm not sure what is going on there, but Jeff Purvis gets into Hutch Strickland. I don't know if something broke on the 57 car. Again, I'm just not 100% certain what happened there. And you can see Rob Moroso getting tagged from the rear end there by Ernie Irvin. And, oh, Darrell Waltrip also getting involved. So that's probably a good reason for the yellow flag to be coming out there. So there we go. We finally get it. It looks like the 40, the 43, and the 10 are all going to go behind the wall as well. And a lot of people saying no fuel. Dale Jarrett, Chad Little, they're all going behind the wall. Darrell Waltrip is going behind the wall. Remember, he got involved. It's huge. And now Tim Richmond is your leader. Remember, he was 8th. Yeah, this is going to be huge for Richmond. This is going to be the definition of huge for Tim Richmond. He absolutely desperately needed that yellow flag. And what does he get? He gets that yellow flag. He's going to get what he wants. Oh, Ken Schrader slowed out down there on the apron. I think they're going to wave off the restart, and indeed they are. There's a couple of really slow cars out on the track. I'm not 100% sure why they're going so slow. But Hutch Strickland, Ken Schrader, I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. But the restart has been called off. Now they're going to try it again here on lap number 61. Tim Richmond is your leader. Alan Kowicki, who's led the majority of this race to this point, is in second. Jeff Bodine third. Dale Earnhardt fourth. And Phil Parsons in fifth. The green flag is out, and it looks like Larry Pearson's going to try to beat the 25 into turn one. It's not going to happen. Kowicki's going to try to stick. Oh, look out, look out. Dave Marcus is in the wall. Dave Marcus is in the wall. Everyone's saving it. No caution. Wow. Green flag's still out. Oh, that was a wee bit crazy. Things are getting absolutely insane here at Richmond. Look at this. Look at this move by Alan Kowicki. He's just trying to desperately get through traffic there. He's trying to run down his opponent. Here's Davey Allison. He's a lap down, I think. Indeed, he is a lap down. Only 21 cars are on the lead lap. And now all of a sudden, here comes Mark Martin. He's in third place. Where did Martin come from? Oh, good Lord. Mark Martin's all of a sudden in third place, and it looks like he's just flying around this track. In fact, he just put down the second best time out of anybody. Good Lord. Alan Kowicki, by the way, is running down Tim Richmond like crazy. And the yellow flag is back out. Any guess as to what happened to Lake Speed here? Oh, Jimmy Spencer's way down in the grass. Still no caution. And here, oh, look at Lake Speed. Oh, he gets tagged from behind by the 5. The 5. And that appears to have brought out the yellow flag. Oh boy. Larry Pearson's going to have another shot to race the 25 off into turn 1. And things have been absolutely... Now things are starting to get crazy in this race. No, we said something about this race being a wild card race. No doubt about it, it is. And all of a sudden it's playing like it. We're like halfway through the race and now, oh, well, what's going on now? Basically, Tim Richmond's being saved by the yellow flag right now. Oh, problems for the 28 potentially here. 28 pulling out of line. It looks like he's keeping pace. I think he's just thinking about pit road. Indeed, he's just trying to get to pit road. So no issues there, but the 28 and the 48 will be going down pit road here. Tim Richmond pulling that strategy move, trying to just get those 5 bonus points. Staying out that 1 extra lap has given him the lead, and I don't think he's going to look back. And even if he does, he's not falling all the way back to the point where Bill Elliott is, all the way back in the 9th position. He's going to maintain this position. There's no way that he isn't going to maintain this position. Now, the car I'm going to say to look out for is Mark Martin, because he all of a sudden is the fastest car on this track. He might be able to pull off his second career win here. Remember, he got his first career win this season at Talladega after having a rather rough start, 1988 with his team. They didn't exactly do too well. Now here they are. They're striking hard here in 1989. They're getting stuff done quick. No potential future championship contender here in the form of Mark Martin. You gotta think about it. He's got potential, no doubt about it. We'll see what happens. Here comes Larry Pearson, Ken Schrader, and others lining up on the inside lane. Rob Moroso's also down there. Moroso's 3 laps down, rather. 29th. Remember, he was up in the top 10 for a good part of the Bristol race, but that ended up falling through. Moroso is in that car because racer Rick Mast has been suspended due to wrecking the leaders. Whether if it was intentional or not, it doesn't matter, but he just straight up blocked the leaders with an extremely slow car at Talladega. Anyways, we're coming down to the line, and the green flag is out. Look at the jump by Kawicki. Wow, he's going to get right to the bumper of the 25 here. This is going to be an interesting turns 1 and 2. Kawicki going to try to shoot the middle. He makes it 3 wide. Things are getting dicey already. Kawicki's going to go to the point. What a move. Oh, Kawicki slides up high. Here comes Richmond back down to the bottom. Here comes Ricky Rudd now. Caution flags back out, and Kawicki's got the lead. And it looks like... Wait a second. Brett Bodine has the lead. I completely disregarded Brett Bodine on that restart. Brett Bodine is your leader. Brett Bodine looking for career win number 1 today. Oh, a hard hit for Bobby Hillen. Let's figure out what happened here. Jeff Bodine, he gets right to the bottom of Sterling Marlin. He's not messing around. He's trying to get back to the front. Oh, he just shoots the back of Bobby Hillen. And he goes around. Oh, hard off the inside wall. Oh. Man, oh man. He's got the car running though, so everything's still okay, at least for the driver. Meanwhile, I want to take a look at... Okay, look at this. Okay, watch this move by Brett Bodine. This is, I swear, this has got to be one of the greatest moves I've ever seen. Watch this. There's an entire fiasco going on in the upper lane. He restarts 5th. Watch this move. Now, everyone's getting tangled with each other in the outside lane. Brett Bodine just sneaks by and is like, well, I'm just going to overtake all you guys. And now Brett Bodine is your leader. What an incredible move by Brett Bodine. That might be a winning move for Brett Bodine. Especially since Rob Moroso is now going to be the car that's starting on the inside lane. And he's not all that fast. It's going to be close. Rusty Wallace has finally put it behind the wall. Harry Gant is also going out. So that'll put Moroso up to 27th on this restart. Oh boy, this action is far from over, isn't it? It's probably going to be one of those races where we have a caution now every 5 laps after that until the field gets down to a certain size. Oh man. We expected a dramatic, chaotic race here at Richmond, and boy, I think we're getting exactly what we're looking for. It started off a little slow, but here we are. Maybe if we started the broadcast from lap 50, we would have more viewers right now. That's alright, that's alright. Point of this is show the whole race. I mean, this is about the glory of racing, man. Take a step back into an alternate history of NASCAR's past and try to ignore whatever playoff stuff is going on in the real world. So Brett Bodine is your leader. Alan Kulwicki is in second. Tim Richmond third. Mark Martin fourth. Ricky Rudd fifth. Terry Labonte's made it up to sixth, by the way. He's been outside the top 10 all day. Bill Elliott is in seventh. Dale Earnhardt eighth. Phil Parsons has dropped to ninth. And Jeff Bodine's gotten himself inside of the top 10. Crazy, crazy racing so far. Green flag is once again back out here from Richmond. Moroso trying to race the 15 into turn 1. It's not going to get there. Look at this. Tim Richmond's going to get 3 wided again. And Mark Martin's going to overtake the third position. But here comes Rudd down on the bottom. He might take third. In fact, he will take third. And Terry Labonte's going to go up to fourth. Maybe. Oh, whoa, everyone gets on the apron here as everyone's trying to back off. Whoa, people banging off the outside wall there. 3 wide, 4 wide. People on the flat again. Oh. Cars are everywhere. Good Lord. Oh! More chaos! Wow! 88 off the inside wall hard. Same thing with the 94. I don't see a caution flag yet. Still green. Not sure what Neil Bonnet's doing. Man, oh man. Meanwhile, guys, we still have a championship to decide, and amidst all of that stuff that just happened, Bill Elliott is all of a sudden in the 6th position. Tim Richmond is now being scored in 8th. Morgan Shepherd is still in front of the 25, and it looks like he's going to stay in front of the 25. So Tim Richmond's going to be scored in 7th once he gets around. And here comes Bill Elliott. He's going to get into the 5th position here. And he really has not had a good car. Meanwhile, up front, here's the 15 of Brett Bodine. He has come so close to winning races this year, including the 1989 Daytona 500. Remember that. Slow car unfortunately got in the way, and there was really no place for the car to go. It was either slowing down one lane or the other. There's really nowhere for Larry Pearson to go. And here is Brett Bodine. He's so close to winning his first career race. He's trying to maybe start to unseat the legacy of his brother. Remember, his brother, 9 career wins, all coming in that 5 car. Mark Martin is in 3rd, and he's still got a very fast car. He's coming. Ricky Rudd is also coming. And this race is a double-decker shot of interesting, no doubt about that. The lead's getting chopped down between Brett Bodine and Alan Kulwicki. But even more importantly, maybe, Mark Martin is really coming along as well. Here comes Martin. This is the battle for 2nd. Oh, I don't know if Brett Bodine's going to be able to hang on to this lead. This is going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. Mark Martin goes into 2nd. He's got the strongest car out of the entire field right now. 14 laps. He's got to hang on. 9/10 of a second is the margin Mark Martin has to make up. I think he's going to make that up easily, folks. Yeah, it's not going to be much of a race. Give it till about 5 to go, and Mark Martin should be able to get around the 15. The only thing that's going to get in the way is lap traffic. Mark Martin is way faster than the 15. Man, Martin has that car dialed in. Here comes Ricky Rudd as well. Yeah, Rudd's got a very fast car too. Now Martin's going to catch him here. Now the question is he going to pass him? He didn't exactly have a good turn 3 and 4. Here comes Ricky Rudd to the inside of Alan Kulwicki. Kulwicki trying to block. Rudd uses the bumper. Oh boy, he didn't even take that. Here comes Martin. He's right on the back of the 15 now. Mark Martin trying to find a way around Brett Bodine. He's going to peek down to the inside. And he's trying to get around the 15 of Brett Bodine, and he will. Yes, he cleared him. New leader, Mark Martin. He's going to come to the line, and I don't think anyone's going to catch him. 10 laps to go. Yeah, he's faster than the 15, too. I don't think the 15 is going to have any answer for Mark Martin here. The only person that'll have any answer for him is Ricky Rudd, and he's a little while back. Will Ricky Rudd be able to strike back? Right now, the way that they're positioned, Tim Richmond is actually going to still pull away 1 point on Bill Elliott. Remember, the 5 bonus points that Tim Richmond got for leading that lap and leading some laps after that. Bill Elliott did not get such bonus points, and right now, he is actually going to lose a point to Tim Richmond right now. That is insane. If Tim Richmond gets ahead, he will then be losing 9 points to Richmond. Lap traffic is definitely getting in the way, but I don't think that it's going to slow down Mark Martin enough to make this race into something crazy. Nah, Martin's got this. All he's got to do is mail it in. He's got himself about a 10 car length lead. All he's got to do is maintain his pace. He doesn't even need to maintain his pace. All he needs to do is stay out of trouble. Almost got into trouble. Looked like he got into the back of Rodney Coombs there. 6 laps to go. Meanwhile, Ricky Rudd, he's going for 2nd. He's going to get 2nd. And now here he's going to get around Rodney Coombs. 5 to go. Does Ricky Rudd have anything for the 6 car of Mark Martin? It's going to take a really big try, but like I said, he's got himself a 1 second advantage. That's going to be a lot of time to really reel in. If anything's going to break it up, it's going to be the lap traffic, and I don't think the lap traffic's going to do it. I don't think the lap traffic's going to be able to do it either, unfortunately. Mark Martin, he got his first career win earlier this season at Talladega. I remember even earlier in the broadcast, I referred to Talladega wins as fluke victories. And maybe I was a little prejudiced in saying that Mark Martin's win at Talladega was a fluke victory. Because here he is, he's got the fastest car here at Richmond. Ricky Rudd, he's pretty far back. He's trying to get 2 in a row here at Richmond. It's not going to happen. Unless something breaks or lets go on that 6 car, it's Mark Martin's race to lose. 2 laps to go. All he's got to do is stay out in front. Oh, Eddie Bierschwell maybe getting a little aggressive there. Mark Martin will take the white flag here from Richmond. It looks like Martin's going to be able to do it. Man, after that round of pit stops, I don't know what they did to Mark Martin's car, but they were able to do something to it to get that car out there and make it the fastest car on the track. Great job by the team, and Mark Martin will win the Miller High Life 400 here from Richmond. And yet another win gypped away from Brett Bodine. He was so close to winning it, and it just didn't happen again. And Bill Elliott and Tim Richmond are able to finish 4th and 5th respectively. There will be no points difference between the two of them. Wow. Those 5 bonus points. That's all that mattered. Those 5 bonus points, and the lead is still 17 points. So Mark Martin will pick up his 2nd victory of the year, becoming the 6th driver this year to pick up multiple victories, joining Tim Richmond, Bill Elliott, Jeff Bodine, Ricky Rudd, and Rusty Wallace. So Mark Martin doing a fantastic job picking up his 2nd career win. As you can almost guess, he is looking forward to next season, trying to make himself better and trying to make himself into a championship contender. Anyways, we're going to see you next time for Dover for the Peak Performance 500. We'll see you then.